Welcome to another style study video. I am Matt, and in this video we're going to take a look at style 1C, cream ale. Actually, one of my favorite styles, not only to drink but to brew, but that is not what this video is about. This is about the style, the profile, and the judging of it. But first, before we get into that, I do need to give my disclaimer. I do not represent the BJCP in any way, shape, or form. The BJCP has nothing to do, nor do they endorse or authorize this video or this series of videos. This is merely my journey in studying these styles and working towards my BJCP certification. So, without out of the way, let us talk about cream ale. So again, style 1C. And we'll start off with the overall impression, and then we'll get to the vitals, and then we'll start talking about what we're looking for on our score sheet here. So, overall impression: a clean, well-attenuated, flavorful American lawnmower beer, easily drinkable and refreshing, with more character than typical American lagers. All right, so from there, let's take a look at the vitals. And we'll start with the SRM like we usually do. Another very short range, which is not uncommon for this entire grouping of styles, but SRM range is 2.5 to 5. The IBUs range from 8 to 20. The original gravity, or starting gravity, for this goes from 1.042 to 1.055, with a final gravity of 1.066 to 1.012, giving us an ABV range of 4.2 to 5.6%. All right, so into the characteristics that I am going to be judging this beer on, we'll start with, like we always do, aroma. Medium low to low malt notes with a sweet corn-like aroma. Low levels of DMS are allowable, but not required. Hop aroma, medium low to none, and can be any variety, although floral, spicy, or herbal notes are most common. Overall, a subtle aroma with neither hops nor malt dominating. Low fruity esters are optional. From there, we'll take a look at appearance. Look at appearance. Didn't mean to make that pun. Pale straw to moderate gold color, although usually on the pale side. Low to medium head with medium high carbonation. Fair head retention. Brilliant sparkling clarity. All right, from there, let's see what we have under flavor, and that reads low to medium low hop bitterness, low to moderate maltiness and sweetness, varying with gravity and attenuation, usually well attenuated. Neither malt nor hops dominate this palate. A low to moderate corny flavor is commonly found, as is light DMS, though optionals in parentheses on that. Finish can vary from somewhat dry to faintly sweet. Low fruity esters are optional. Low to medium low hop flavor, and in parentheses again, any variety, but typically floral, spicy, or herbal. And finishing up with mouthfeel, we have generally light and crisp, although body can reach medium. Smooth mouthfeel with a medium to high attenuation. Higher attenuation levels can lend a thirst quenching quality. High carbonation. All right, now we do have some commercial examples again, and some that are, we're getting a little harder to find, but some you should be able to find. We're going to talk about that here in just a second, but let me give you the commercial examples. Genesee Cream Ale, Labotshiner Cream Ale, which I probably said wrong, Little King's Cream Ale, New Glarus Spotted Cow, Old Style, and Sleeman Cream Ale. And of those, I think I've only ever had New Glarus Spotted Cow because they serve it at the Green Bay Airport, and that is about the only thing to do at the Green Bay Airport is to drink Spotted Cow. Now, for what I'm tasting, like I said, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that right now. I do not have one of those examples, but I do have a local brewery example, local to Florida. It's in Jacksonville. It is Bold City Brewery's Killer Whale Cream Ale. Now, I did look for the couple on there that I knew, that I've seen around here, but I just did not find it the day I was shopping for these styles of beers. And I know that's going to happen. When we get to some of the international beers and the European beers, that is absolutely going to happen. I am not going to find the commercial examples here in Central Florida. So I figured I'm going to find ones that are, at least by name, or maybe even by description fitting into that style, because I am going to have to judge beers that do claim to be the style, representative of the style that maybe not be. I'm not saying this isn't, I haven't even judged it yet, but that's something I'm going to have to do along with learning the characteristics of these perfect examples. So in this particular video, I'm going to score Bold City Brewery's Killer Whale Cream Ale. So I do have my usual papers here, and I have an addition we're going to talk about too. Here's my cheat sheet of all the things you just saw on the screen. Here's my score sheet, and this time, and we won't spend too much time on this in this video, but I'll let you know what I'm going to be doing. I have the flavor wheel, which the name of where this comes from unfortunately escapes me. I will look it up and put it underneath what I'm saying right now, and I'll put the link in with the notes on this post as well. And I am going to use this when I get the flavor, just flavor this time. I'm not going to use it for the whole thing. And with this flavor wheel, the descriptors can go with aroma and flavor as well. I decided just to try it with flavor this time. I'm going to try to at least pinpoint 3 things on this wheel that I've never used before in a descriptor when reviewing flavor. Again, something I said in the last episode, I'm going to work up that vocabulary, and here's a start. I have some other tools I'm going to use as well, but this is where we're going to start with. So I'm going to set this right here, and we're going to take a quick taste and look and smell and everything else that goes with it, and go over the highlights real quick, and then I will pause and do my usual full review. I can't help it. I have to tap the top of a can. I don't know if I did that last video. I have to do it. It's such a habit I came up with so long ago. I'm going to pour it correctly this time, straight down the middle, so you can all see what everything looks like in this sample, including the head build and the retention. So let's jump right into this. We'll go to the aroma. And this is, right off the bat, this is the maltiest sample of the 3 that I've reviewed so far. I can smell, they're not super strong. It's not a malty beer. I thought that sounds like I'm saying multi-pass from Fifth Element. I'm trying to say malty beer, but there is some malt to be found finally. I've not just experienced that in the last 2 beers. It is sweet. I don't know if I've smelled the corn yet, but the head's pretty big. We might get to it when I get to the score sheet. Medium, no hop aroma. I would say none yet, but I'm thinking as this head is dying down, there's a little more complexity coming through, so there might be some hops when I get to the real nitty gritty of this. Appearance, straw to gold. That's definitely a leaning on the straw side, so the color's good. Low to medium head. I guess after that aggressive pour, I'd call that closer to medium. It's very, very thick and billowy. I kind of want to lay my head down that and take a nap. It's getting a little late tonight. Fair head retention. Yes, I'd say so far. It lasted through all that diatribe and brilliantly clear. Again, let's remove the condensation, and absolutely. Yeah, that is clear. I don't know if you can see some of the lettering through that on camera. I'll find out in editing. Might take that little bit out, but it's definitely clear. Let's get the flavor. There's definitely more of a hop presence in the taste, but not strong. And I would say it's low like it describes it as. There's a malty sweetness to it. There's something else I'm getting, and it might be corn. I'm going to have to let it warm up when I pause this video as best I can in 12 minutes and see if I can decide then. There's a little bit of a hop presence too, and again, I had to dive into it a little more to see precisely what. And hopefully we'll get to it on the score sheet. Mouthfeel, light and crisp. I can tell you already, definitely smooth, definitely and highly carbonated. I don't think there's any question there. In fact, there's still carbonation rolling off the bottom quite a bit. Probably not coming up on camera, but I can certainly see it. All right, let me refresh my pour. I will pause that. I'll be back. I will set a timer for 12 minutes and get the stopwatch ready. I got a feeling I'm going to go long again. And I'll be back to tell you what I came up with on this score sheet. All right, I am done. And this time I came in 22 seconds under time. And my score sheet actually shows that because I'm short a couple lines again. I have a goal to fill all these lines, and I'm about 2.5 short, I'd say. So kind of still gauging my writing time there. And my handwriting got a little worse that time. I was trying to not I was trying not to cramp my hand, so I was writing a little looser and also trying to write faster. So that's another aspect I have to work on. I can't get graded if the judges can't read what I wrote. So a lot of little things to work on in the next few months here. Anyway, let's get to the score sheet, and I'll read it best I can. So, filled out the top, category 1, subcategory C, subcategory spelled out cream ale, entry number, I called it Killer Whale for my own reference. And starting right off with aroma, I have pleasant sweet malt aroma, fruity hops with a green melon aroma noticeable. Clean crab apple-like ester aromas discovered as the head dissipated. Actually, it says as dissipated. I forgot the word head there, so I have to be very careful of that. I have to take those. If I get done in 12 minutes, I should take, when it comes to test time, those last few minutes to kind of proofread that, because that could be a problem. Anyway, score 9 out of 12. On appearance, wonderful straw color, no particulates or sediment found in the pour sample, crystal clear with no haze at all, very thick and luscious head, soft in appearance, and receded to a sizable color. 3 out of 3 on that. Flavor, a heavy, grainy, dominant flavor with a bit of a straw-like finish, a smooth bitterness with a touch of apple and melon fruity hop character, a bit of tart and puckering taste felt on the tongue. Clean fermentation with a touch of bready finish. Now, like I said, I was going to use the wheel, this flavor wheel for that, and it actually helped a lot. Straw-like was something I couldn't put my finger on, so I looked it up on here. There was a tart and puckering, which I led to an astringency factor, which is going to be discussed in this as well. So I think I pulled more than 3 descriptors out of this. Let's see, straw-like, melon, which I also found in the aroma, thanks to the wheel, tart and puckering. So 4. I'm at the 3 and 4. So vocabulary already working. That's one thing I immediately found with this color wheel, to just share this real quick. There was elements I couldn't put my finger on until I saw the words in writing, and I was like, that's what it is. There's a bit of a straw-like taste to this. So great start with this flavor wheel, and a couple other flavor and aroma character resources we'll be talking about in this. So I'm very, very pleased that worked out that way. So anyway, back to mouthfeel. Again, fell a little short because I didn't concentrate on mouthfeel like I did on the last one, but I still think I got some points here, I think. We'll see. I wrote very dry finish, a noticeable astringency on the palate and aftertaste with a tart puckering. I couldn't think of the word I wanted to end there, so I just ended it puckering. Light-bodied, relatively smooth with a creamy coating across the tongue, and 3 out of 5 for that. It was 15 out of 20 for flavor if I didn't mention it. 3 out of 5 for mouthfeel. On to overall impression, this might be my second hardest thing to fill out after mouthfeel, but I'm working on it. A well-made beer all around, fairly balanced, leaning slightly malt forward. A noticeable astringency was detectable but didn't overwhelm the entire sample. A lower mash temperature may reduce that astringency. Refreshing, well carbonated, and a pleasure to drink. With a total score of 37 out of 50, and that puts it in a very good range. And 37 is probably on the low end. Again, this would be something that I did stop at 12 minutes. If I had those 3 minutes, I'd probably go through again and really concentrate, and probably ended up putting 2, maybe 3 more points altogether on it. But I'm not doing that yet. Well, I'm going to get to that the more I do these sheets. So just wanted to put that out there, that if 37 seems, it may seem low because of the other scores are so high, but I'm not revisiting my scores yet. And in a judging situation, not testing, but judging situation, you would discuss this with a partner, or at least one other person, and your score might change. But it's something I want to make sure when I get to testing, I want to read and reread and make sure I'm comfortable with it. And I think if I were to take just 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes of the time I have left, I'd probably alter the score a little bit for the better. So just wanted to, again, make that clear. That's something that is yet to come, and maybe I'll revisit. I know I'm going to revisit this beer. I'm no stranger to this beer, but maybe revisit that score. I don't think that score is I'm putting a disclaimer out there. This does not represent the style or the beer. This is merely for educational purposes on my part. That is The next style we'll be reviewing is 1D American Wheat Beer. I'll be back with that video soon, but I do need to say thank you for watching, and I will, like I just said, be back with a new style study video very soon.